If you are not a reader, I want you to stick around anyway because I need to tell you the 4 books that completely changed my mindset and business. I was never a reader. I bought a whole bunch of books because I was told as an entrepreneur you had to read, and I tried. I tried back in 2017. I bought about 10 books just to look cool, posted them on Instagram a few times back when Instagram was a photo sharing platform, but it was something that I just couldn't get into it. A few of the things that I would think is, well, I can't focus. Well, English is not my first language. I don't really understand these words, and all of these excuses kept coming up until finally in 2021, I decided to attempt 75 hard. And it really taught me something about myself, that I have to find books that I want to read, an interest of something that I want to learn more about, something that I want to get better at. And as it was mandatory to be able to participate in 75 hard, later to realize that some people just do 10 pages, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I read 20 pages front and back, and it completely changed my life. So I want to talk to you about 4 books right here that completely changed my life. I do want to do a round 2 of specific authors, but let's start off with the Vision Driven Leader. So this book right here, I bought it on Audible first, and I heard it and I loved it. I actually listened to it multiple times, and what's crazy about it is that I never realized I wasn't getting the full idea of the Vision Driven Leader with it being on Audible. So I love how this book talks about how vision is essential to entrepreneurship and leadership. And it gives you an example of how Kodak, do you remember Kodak, the company, and even Blockbuster, they lacked vision. That's why they weren't able to make it, because they didn't shift to the future. And how vision and mission plus strategy equals results. So you have to have all 3. Vision, which that's exactly what it goes into, a mission for your vision, and a strategy. You have to have a step-by-step no matter what. So it really breaks down, like, what is your vision, how to craft your vision, because sometimes you're like, okay, but like, what the heck do I do? And one of my favorite pages is actually page 116, and it talks about how strategy and productivity go together. Like, they go hand in hand. And the way that you can use that to your advantage is by a vision script, which they teach you how to do that, an annual plan, a quarterly plan, a weekly objective, so like what did I do every single week, and daily tasks. So what I absolutely love about this book is that you don't have to have a team to get into this book, because that right there, annual plan, quarterly plan, all of that can just go for you. And honestly, as an entrepreneur, you should be looking to build a team, whether that's a part-time virtual assistant or an accountant or whatever team member you want to hire on. That means that you should be refining your leadership skills. Another page I absolutely love is page 216. Let's go there. And I love this. Perfection is just another way of saying procrastination. I love that. So that is the very first book that I absolutely love, and it's completely changed the way I see why you need to build a vision and the importance of it. Number 2 is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I read this on accident. I actually wanted another book called The Leader's Greatest Return. Accidentally clicked on this. They're both red, but I am so glad I was able to read this first, because it talks about, even if you don't have a team, like I said in the previous book, even if you don't have a team, you need to be able to lead yourself, because one of the laws that it talks about is the law number 9, law of magnetism. You are who you attract. So who do you need to become to be able to attract your ideal business partner, your ideal employee, your ideal CEO or CFO, whoever ideal team member that you want to attract? You have to be a excelled version of yourself. Another one is the law of the inner circle, which is exactly what it sounds like. You know, this is not new things. I know that these laws are in the Bible, and then there other authors have talked about it, but who you hang out with, who your inner circle is, that's exactly who you become. So you have to be extremely careful of that, and that goes back into, you don't have to have a team in order to read these books. One other one I want to talk to you about is the law of the picture, which talks about vision. The Vision Driven Leader. Literally all of them mesh together so well. But it talks about how people do what people see and why you have to have a vision to be able to take them to the next level, and the law of the big mo, which is momentum, like how to get momentum, why it's so important, and how to get to that next level of your business. Aren't these books so bomb already? If you stay till the end, I'll give you 3 tips of how I've been able to read even with lack of focus, even with undiagnosed ADD. All of those things I'm going to give you at the end. The next book is The Miracle Morning, and I highly suggest that you just buy the one that's for entrepreneurs because it is the same. This is just very basic. If you do the entrepreneur, it has amazing examples from people like Lois Howes, Tony Robbins, things like that, but it is just next level. This is actually the very first book. All these little tabs, I was mind blown. This is their very first book that I read back in 2017, and the reason why is because I kept hearing how entrepreneurs need a morning routine and I didn't have one. Disclaimer, I'm in a season where I also don't have a morning routine, but I'll get to that in a moment. So The Miracle Morning has something called Savers, and Savers is silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scripting. Scripting, it means journaling. And it explains why a morning routine is so important, and it goes into how he had an illness, he had cancer, and he was able to really even then stick to his morning routine and be able to come back from his healing that he was trying to do. And maybe it may seem basic, but it really explains to you the importance of all of these aspects: the silence, the affirmation, the visualization, and even to the point where it says if you don't have a whole hour to do a morning routine, do it in 6 minutes. Do 1 minute each. 1 minute silence, 1 minute affirmations, 1 minute visualization. And I love that because, like I said, I'm in a season in my life where my toddler doesn't really let me have a morning routine. So if that means doing non-negotiables for me, I still always remember Savers. Make sure that you get that journal in, even if it's a little bit later in the morning. Take a look. There's so many different in his collection, but this is what the original looks like. Miracle Morning. You can do the entrepreneur one. If you're a real estate agent, they have one. If you're a network marketer, they have one for that. So whichever one that is, take a look at that collection. This book, The Ultimate. I have read this book. My goal is to read this book every single January to jumpstart that, because it's something that really explained what momentum is and how to get there. So it's called The Compound Effect, and it looks like a little basic book. It talks about this guy that his dad was so like OCD, like to the T, very organized, very strict with him, but it helped him become a millionaire in his early 20s. And how he was able to do that was by the compound effect. Small actions to where it doesn't matter what day it is, you're still gonna take that small action, and small actions every day consistently equal success. I am not gonna give you any more information on this book because you need to read it. You absolutely need to read this. I hope that this book really changes your mindset around momentum and consistency, because yeah, you can do all the things that you need to do. You can go all in with your diet, with your business, but if you are not implementing the compound effect, well, it really doesn't matter. That's the main idea of the book. So this is something that you absolutely need. I'll link all of these books in the description, but you stay till the end. So I want to give you 3 tips to read better, because I understand that this is not going to be something that you may adapt right away. Maybe you're not a reader yet, but you are watching this video, so I know you want better. So number 1 thing that you should do is schedule it in your schedule, no matter what. Like, you know, I have to read this book no matter what. The second thing is just look and see, okay, I'm gonna read 2 pages today. I'm gonna read 10 pages. Commit to that. So you understand that, all right, this is right here. Just plan your reading. This is right here. Okay, so if I do this to this, that ends that sentence. Okay, I'm gonna read 3 pages today no matter what. So that's number 2. And the third one is put some noise canceling headphones in. Maybe you need to do a white noise on your phone, or maybe you need to do something that helps you focus. And my noise canceling AirPods really help me focus, especially when my child is playing Cocomelon and I'm like, okay, I cannot focus with the wheels on the bus right now. So that really helps me. Even if I can only read for 10 minutes, at least it just gets me focused and ready for the day. A bonus tip is if you download the Audible, you can follow along, and that also really helps. It's not the same for me when it comes to really hard books that have vocabulary that are just out of my reach, and it just helps me focus on the actual message. I hope this helps. I definitely want to do another book review or book recommendations. Let me know in the comments if this helped you and what other types of books you would like reviewed. This is something that I've completely fallen in love with, and I will see you in the next video.